Welcome back to Lucid Trading. And I am seeing my green screen for some reason. This should be fixed in a second. There we go. All right. Fantastic. Welcome back. Welcome back to Lucid Trading. I hope everybody had a awesome morning and a great afternoon so far. I can tell you that I have or am having a great afternoon because I finally got an AC, an air conditioner, and it is amazing. I can keep the windows shut and the AC is going to cool things off. It's amazing. I'm very, very happy. I think there's going to be 0 to no background noise from here on out, which is pretty good. Also got a new mouse, which is working good. The other mouse that I had made a lot of noise, and I have to say it was quite annoying. And I got a special mouse mat, which it has a wrist support, which you can see right here. Helps a lot with the wrist. I would recommend it to anybody using their laptops or computers very often. Something to support the wrist helps out tons. Now, alrighty, let's see who's in the chat. Let's see who just joined. Enjoy the AC, best investment. Yeah, it is definitely the best investment so far, among other investments, right? But yeah, once again, welcome to the stream. Hit the like, smash the like button. Would be very much appreciated. And welcome to Derry, Gerard, Waleed, Dan Carral, Jasper, Cash, Rocket Launcher, Jess L, James, OG Knight, X Saint, Jesus Martinez. Welcome back. All right. Okay, let's see what's happening here in the markets. Let's check the markets right after we set everything up here. Good. Should be very nice. It seems like it's a little dark in here. Let me see if I can quickly fix that. And let's share that beautiful link so everybody knows we are live. Yeah, we have the Jackson Hole meeting tomorrow, and we're going to be covering that, of course. It's going to be wild. A lot of people are expecting Jerome Powell to be announcing the tapering. And whether they're going to taper in November or September or, January, that announcement could be a bearish event. Because there's also the possibility he's going to say nothing, or maybe he's going to delay it, right? And so it's going to be interesting. We're going to cover the Jackson Hole event. I think it's going to be quite vital to be covering that. We'll see what happens. I personally think the stock market is going to be selling off. I still think the market's going to be selling off. Yeah, because we're heading into September. We're talking about tapering, which is a negative thing. It's not a good thing for the stocks, for the stock market. And I think it could definitely be the case that we'll see a sell-off. I think only when Jerome Powell comes out and says, "Hey, we're not gonna taper anytime soon because of Corona," I could definitely see like the market going up or staying stable. But it looks like we're probably gonna see a taper announcement, or at least they're gonna talk about when it's gonna happen. And that is, in my opinion, a good reason, a very good reason for the market to pull back. Now, right now, we're sitting very close to all-time highs still. It's incredible, right? So we're still sitting at all-time highs. The market has been just climbing and climbing and climbing. Although it's not overbought, right? So we're not seeing overbought levels on the RSI. I think definitely with tomorrow's meeting, we could probably see some volatility. And in fact, the VIX just recently spiked. Look at that. VIX is spiking 10%. That is wild. So that's in anticipation of big movement in the markets. And I think that big movement, we're going to probably see that tomorrow and early next week. What that's going to be, right? I think we'll see a correction once again. So some volatility is coming up, and the indices are going to pull back. And hopefully, if we do see a correction, we see that that rotation back to growth stocks that we've been talking about, with the CPI potentially heading down. Although, considering tapering being a negative thing for especially, I would say, high multiple stocks, we'll just have to see what happens. I personally am still very bullish on growth, especially considering that we could see that CPI come down lower, which will have a negative impact on the overall yield. Yield could come back down a bit, or at least stabilize, which then would have an impact or positive impact on high multiple stocks and also on their balance sheets, because their earnings are not going to be wearing off over time because of inflation. Oh boy, here we go. Breaking report: death amongst U.S. service members in Kabul airport attack has risen to 10. Oh my gosh, that is painful. That is incredibly painful. Yeah, that is obviously a very bad occurrence. Yeah, we probably saw the markets come back down lower because of that situation in Afghanistan. Speaking of things coming back down, oops, my camera is a little too bright. Speaking of things coming back down, Bitcoin down 4.6%, Ethereum down 4%, Cardano down 8.5%. I still think that this rally is going to be over. We're going to see some bleeding out, and we're going to see consolidation on crypto. Especially if we know that inflation is weakening, right? So I would say the same thing would be happening for gold, where of course when we see inflation heading downwards, then that could have a negative impact on precious metals and commodities and crypto. Currently looking at Tesla here. My God, I love this mouse. It is so good. There we go. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, I said it was going to go down, right? So let's just not delete this. Yeah, so this is what I said. I said Tesla was most likely going to be coming back down because we don't have any short-term catalyst. We're heading into the bearish month of September. We have the tapering talk potentially on the table for the Federal Reserve. You know, Jerome Powell is going to be speaking tomorrow. And not only that, we had some recent bad news, so that's having a negative impact on sentiment. AI Day already priced in. Deliveries, it's going to take some time until then. There could be battery issues. There could be supply issues. It's going to impact deliveries. So short term, I would say it makes a lot of sense for Tesla to slightly pull back to that 680, 690 area. And then we'll see a potential bounce maybe after we see a bit of a correction in the market. Because it seems like the market just wants to bleed out right now. Especially the S&P, the Dow Jones, the Russell heading down quite a bit here. Like, you can't take it for granted. I'm so incredibly happy. Today is a very good day. I didn't even spend that much money on this AC, but this is bringing so much value to my life. Just want to... Wow. I just closed the windows, and this room is becoming livable. Like, it was a living hell with the temperatures just rising and rising. Because the sun is shining from that way, and it's heating up the room. There's no ventilation here in this place. So thank the Lord for that. Whew. All right. Yeah, we're not going to be hearing any ambulances in the background or anything strange like a motorbike, which we did previously because the windows were open, because then air could come in and just ventilate the room. So yeah, progress, right? All right, so what are we looking at here? So Tesla probably going to pull back slightly. C3.ai, it's just, I can't believe it, but it's still pulling back. It's pulling back. It was negative for a moment. Remember, C3.ai was up 3.5% today. 3.5%. I'm not even joking about that. By the way, we have like 180 people watching and 28 likes. Come on, let's go. Hit that like button. Today is awesome. We got the new AC mouse pad. This mouse makes a lot less noise, so you won't be hearing much of that. And I think, yeah, I got a pair of shoes. What's next? What's more coming? Still looking at a new camera. Still looking at that new camera. Couldn't find anything that's within reason in price, but also very high quality. That's a difficult thing. It's like, what kind of quality do you want? Because it differs so much. All right, enough about that. Palantir is still sitting at 25, up 2.8%, while the whole market is coming back down. Snowflake is skyrocketing. It's up 7.6%. C3.ai, obviously, like I said before, it is looking kind of bearish. It rejected this level, 51, instantly pulling back again. You can see it rejected it very heavily. This looks like a reversal to the downside on C3.ai. Although we did have that brief move above resistance, which you can see right here. So if we find support at the current price, then I think it would be very likely for C3 to use this as support and then bounce off to the next resistance. Oh, there we go. Yeah, my mouse is like incredibly fast. And that's, I think, the most likely scenario at this point, given the fact that we have earnings coming up next week, Wednesday. AI has a gap at 47. Yeah, well, that is true, but it doesn't have to fill that gap. This is a runaway gap, right? It's running away from the lower prices. Wait, is it actually the case? Yeah, it is. Yep, runaway gap to the moon. Although the volume is just very low volume. AI has a gap at 78 as well. Yeah, I think that will definitely be filled. I think this gap will be filled down the road. It will take some time, but it will be filled to the 73. I'm very bullish on C3, as you might know. And Palantir. My gosh, Palantir. I expected a bit of a downturn here after the negative news. This is a strong support, and it's close to the trend line. Didn't happen, just bounced back right away. Very, very good. Also has to do with the fact that we're seeing high multiple stocks. Well, I think what really matters right now is that maybe because of Snowflake heading up this much, it has had a positive impact on both Palantir and C3.ai, and maybe even other names like Splunk. No, Splunk is just going down right now. Although Splunk was sitting positive, right? It was sitting at 160 at some point, or close to the 160, and then it dropped when the market dropped. Yeah, so Splunk was actually positive. Maybe we can check Alteryx. Alteryx was... No, not really doing anything. I want to check Salesforce. Yeah, Salesforce doing incredibly well today. They blew earnings out of the water. A 60% surprise. That is insane. There we go. And yeah, Tesla's still coming back down. Same for the Russell. Russell MACD is crossing. We can see that much. That is crossing to the downside. RSI as well. I'm just going to see if I can look at the live chat. There we go. Fantastic. I'm going to have to remove some of these things here. Yeah, the Russell has been pummeled down for a while now. It's been doing nothing. I think we're getting very close to a time period where the Russell's going to actually just rally and just do nothing else but rally. Although, all right, now I can see the live chat. I got two separate screens, so. Oh my god. At least 60 people passed away. No way. 140 injured. That is a calamity. That is really messed up. It is world news right now. It's unbelievable. Like, I am shook. That is inhumane. It is crazy. Yeah, I am personally, I'm ethnically from Iraq, and I've actually seen this kind of stuff happen. It's messed up. Very, very sad. No wonder that the stock market went down. No wonder. Absolutely no wonder. But, you know, I honestly think that it could have been a lot worse so far. This is, but it could have also been a lot better. But yeah, still, I'm speechless. Obviously, this is referring to the explosion that happened in Kabul, in Afghanistan, where a lot of people were trying to escape the country. They were trying to leave. I think they also tried to evacuate everybody, and eventually they gave out a warning that was about to happen. The explosion, that there was a terror attack coming. Yeah. I was like watching the news literally like 30 minutes prior. Hold up. There's some uncertainty now, and it's also weighing in on the stock market. 100% it is weighing in on the stock market. Who knows what's going to happen next? You know, what if Biden is going to announce that they're not going to retreat? There's some crazy stuff happening right now. I'm going to be turning on the light here so you can see me properly. Well, that's everything but seeing me clear. All right, there we go. All right, we have about 29 minutes until Power Hour. Make sure you let me know which stocks we should cover. You can hit me up in the live chat. What up with DIDI? Yeah, I have no clue what's happening here. It jumped a massive amount, like almost 6%, and then proceeded to go down. I assume this is happening because the whole market is coming down, right? So we're seeing the whole market sort of coming down. I did warn about this, right? So right after the move that we saw to 8.6, 8.7, I said it was going to most likely fill the gap and then come back down. Guess what happened? It filled the gap and it came back down. MACD is still bearish, so it looks like it's going to come back down all the way. This is like a classic DD move, right? It moves, and it just returns back to the price where it originally was. Alibaba down 2% still. Airbnb, Neo, DIDI. Let's check Airbnb for a second. Yeah, we said Airbnb was going to reach around 160 and then come back down. Yeah, look at that. That's pretty good. All right, so it hit about 163, which I think that was a resistance. I don't know how I figured that out though. Oh yeah, there you go. So this level originally was acting as support, now acting as resistance. And so it pulled back from that level. Yeah, so it pulled back where it will stop. We'll figure that out in a second. There's no clear support, although around 141, 145, and we don't really have a support here, honestly. Maybe the 150 could be acting as support, potentially. Maybe, do we see any evidence of that? No, we don't. It says around 145, 148, maybe. But this has never acted as support, I think. Yeah, so it just breaks through that level. Even right here. So 145 would be like a very good bottom. That would be a nice entrance for Airbnb. I'm just going to check if the Fibonacci levels could give us some insights here. 150, right? It does say 150. I don't think 150 is a good support. I think the 145 is a strong support, but we'll see. It's still falling down. Maybe reach down to that level. So right here. Will it bounce back? I definitely think it's going to bounce back, though. There's no way around this. Airbnb has been going flat. Let me check the weekly chart and the daily charts. It's not clear whether it's going to bounce short term. Looks more like we're going to see some sideways. Right, so I think what we could see happen here is see some downside, hit that support, and gradually climb back. I think the 155, 156 is like a resistance, right? So hit that level and just gradually move up, right? I mean, at this point, with the economy opening up, recent quarters. All right, so they're actually returning back to profitability. Things are returning back to normal. And they have significantly higher revenue. Like, they're going to kill it. So long as there's not going to be another lockdown. Yeah, this stock move is incredibly weird. It's so hectic. Interesting. I don't know, like I'm a little bit uncertain about September. Consolidate. Will it bounce in September, or will it just go sideways? Yeah, even the weekly doesn't make it obvious, for me at least. It is still uptrending. All right, I'm just gonna say that it's gonna just consolidate around the 150s, the lower 150s. Maybe mid-September we rally back to I would say 170. So initially consolidate in the 150 range. I don't think it's going to go back to 140 unless we see like a solid correction in the markets. So yeah, I do think Airbnb is heading up the same way I said that Airbnb was going to go from the 140s to the 160s. We're going to see another rally come up. Although we have to be very mindful of the month of September. I would say it's a very bearish month. We're getting close to September and it's already bearish. Look at that. Tesla down 1%. Neo down 2%. Li Auto coming down here 3.3%. XPeng, everything getting wrecked. Aside from the big software companies. Well, the software companies. The Palantir, the C3, the Snowflake, all still green. Big tech going red, huh? Microsoft, Facebook, Google. Although Google is just... It's unbelievable how Google maintains its positive sentiment. And Amazon here as well going green, up 0.7%. Netflix up 0.5%. Nano Dimension was up 2%, 3%, now down 1%. BNGO was up a percentage point, also down now. Recovery stocks are down. Semiconductor stocks slightly negative. The value stocks, they're definitely plummeting. So overall market seems to be negative right now. If you just scrolling right through this watch list, and it's just very evident. Most stocks are just heading down. And you can see this in the indices, with the Russell down 0.76%. We have the Dow Jones down 0.36 percentage points. And the NASDAQ down, the S&P down. Everything is red. The 10-year is falling. I guess that kind of is an indication of fear. So there's fear. People are going to the bond market. They're buying the 10-year. Coinbase down 2.5%, mainly due to the fact that we're seeing Bitcoin go down, Ethereum go down. That's having a negative impact on crypto stocks like Riot Blockchain, down 3.9%. Mara down 4.9%, which we warned about, that we would see a downturn in those stocks as we see crypto come back down again. All right, so what is the strategy here? What would be a good strategy right now? Personally, I would say a good strategy right now would be to just watch. Watch what happens. We have the Fed, we have Jerome Powell talking tomorrow at the Jackson Hole meeting. Having cash on the sidelines is crucial. It is absolutely crucial. Okay? Update 12 years. I personally have 35% of my portfolio in pure cash. Right? So that's the idea. You want to protect your long positions by having cash, having a hedge against the market. I personally have a short position against Nvidia right here. This bad boy, shorted it right there. I have a short position against Google right here. Might go up, who knows. I have a short position against Microsoft as well. And I have a short position against, what's its name? I forgot the name, whatever. So some short positions. These are not very big short positions. It's just enough so I'm hedging my long positions, right? So when the stock market goes down, the short positions go up. Then I can get out of these short positions, put them back into stocks that I like, maybe a C3.ai, Palantir, or a Tesla, stocks that are bottoming out and have great fundamental potential for the foreseeable future. And so that's kind of the mindset here. There we go. Yeah, I would say there are some stocks out there that are just looking incredibly attractive relative to the market, which I'm going to be buying anyway, right? So I'm buying Alibaba, I'm buying DIDI stock, C3.ai, even Netlist at the current price. I would say not a bad choice. Keep in mind, this is not financial advice. And I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not trying to be a financial advisor. It's just my opinion on the current situation as we're seeing it. And oh damn, the chat is very quiet. I have never seen a live chat this quiet. Let me know in the live chat if you're still here. Like, I have never seen the chat this quiet. It's just wild. Usually it's very hard for me to read everything. But right now, it's just like, it is incredibly easy, I guess. Also, which stock are you bullish on? Which stock is a stock that you think is going to be moving up quite a bit in the month of September? So that's the key, right? So which stock do you think is going to be going up in September, which is usually a bad month? Still here. Everybody's here. Everybody's watching the news. Yeah. I can't understand that. I'm going to make a poll. There's very bad news coming out from Afghanistan right now, so. Yeah, I currently am focused on mostly on C3.ai at this point. Because we have earnings coming up on the 1st of September. I think that's going to be vital for the revival of this stock. Like, 100%. Let's see. Crypto still selling off. The Russell actually bounced off that 20-day moving average, which is quite interesting. So it's acting as support. So far, so good. We have 14 minutes left until power hour. And DXY is jumping. Look at that. It's been jumping for a while now. That's interesting. Might also have to do with the conflict that's happening right now. Starting June 7th. That's a big surge. I think we're definitely going to see the dollar go back up significantly. Which basically means there's more demand for the dollar. Yeah, look at that. That's Lucid Motors. It's not moving anywhere. In fact, it's actually trending downwards. So that's painful to watch. This had so much potential if they would have just not diluted the shares. And also, I would say, if they would have gotten less authorized shares, that would have been way better for the stock price, I would say. Gara, from one side, you are bullish short-term on growth stocks like Palantir and C3.ai. On the other hand, you are bearish because of September. We could totally see a scenario where these growth names, because of earnings, right? AI has earnings coming up, will still go up despite the market going down. A prime example of this, is Snowflake. Watch Snowflake. It's up almost 8%, but the market is red. You see that? The Russell down 0.87%, Nasdaq down almost 0.5%, S&P down, Dow Jones down. Yet Snowflake is up almost 8%. So I would not be surprised if we see both C3.ai and Palantir go up despite the market going down. And that's happening right now, actually. I mean, look at that. Palantir is also up 2.5%. C3 is slightly green, but... And I also do think that these growth stocks will be coming down if there's a correction. Obviously, if the market is correcting 5 to 10%, they're going to go down. For sure. DIDI is just pulling back all the way at this point. You see that? That is crazy. That is absolutely wild. Big spike and then instantly sells off. Interesting. Oh, there we go. Hold up. Is Alibaba going to bounce or is it going to be coming lower? It's already filling the gap, like, partially. Still down 48%. I mean, for it to recover, I mean, that would have to be like a good 90% move to that all-time high. And in fact, if you would consider the fact that while Alibaba was going down, other stocks like Facebook and Microsoft and Apple, they were going up. So as those stocks are heading up, Alibaba was going down. I think there's incredible amounts of potential here if we don't see the situation in China erode. And we're also right at a significant level here. You can see right here how many times we have bounces from this level. I mean, it is incredible. Right, so at the current price where Baba's sitting, which is 165.5, I'll show you how many times we bounce off of that level. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. There's so many times. So I'm convinced that we're going to see a bounce to the upside here at this current level that we're sitting at. And if we don't see a bounce, I think it's most likely going to be due to the fact that either something is happening in China or the overall stock market is just heading down because of, we're getting into the month of September. And we could definitely see some bearishness because of that. Now, how will they rally look like? That's another question, right? Like, what kind of moves did we see back then? We're talking 8% move here. 11% move there. Let's see. 9%. 7.8. 12. Let's just say 10%, right? For the sake of simplicity. That's been the average move from this level whenever it bounces up. So if it does use this level as support, I mean, if we're looking at a 10% move, that will, coincidentally, like, look at that. It's going to fill the gap here to the 182. Isn't that surprising? It is not. It's going to fill the gap. We'll see what happens next, but I think we could easily see like a 10% move if China's not going to come out with more bearish news. So something like that seems to be quite likely at this point. All right, we have 6 minutes left until power hour. And I would appreciate it if you would smash a like. And let me know which stocks I should cover. Let me know in the live chat. And I'm also going to be opening up a poll about, let's see. I want to make a poll about the meeting tomorrow. The Jackson Hole meeting. So do you think that we're going to see the taper be announced tomorrow or not? I think that's a good question. Will Jerome announce the taper tomorrow? Yeah, so what are the options? He could delay the taper. He could he could just say, hey, straight up, we're going to taper. Alright, we have the poll running right now. Check it out. And there are several options. Will Jerome Powell announce the taper tomorrow? Yes, no. He's going to delay it. Or he's going to announce the taper. Like that. So what do you think? Hit up the poll. You can do that right now. Gara, can you look at Tilray? Neo. Gara, check Neo. Also spamming. Can you do technicals on sundial growers? Interesting. Let's take a look at Neo. So we said that Neo was going to pull back. It would create a double bottom and then rally back up. And I still think that's going to be happening for Neo. We were lucky with that spike, by the way. That was crazy. Almost went above 40. But yeah, it hit resistance and it pulled back instantly. So it's still pulling back right now. And, oh my god, Tesla's pulling back as well. Look at that. What did we say? Tesla's going to pull back. Neo's going to pull back slightly. It makes perfect sense. There we go. Let's see how the poll is doing right now. We also have a $5 donation coming in here from a harmless pair. Thank you for that donation. ASTS. Check out ASTS. We'll check out ASTS in a second. So 36% of people say no, Jerome Powell is not going to announce the taper tomorrow. 27% says yes, and 29% says delay. Oh my God. A lot of people think it's not going to happen. I mean, regardless of the result, I think there's going to be downside. I think people are going to be cautious, and I think the market is going to move to the downside. So I'm going to say that Jerome Powell's probably not going to be announcing the taper, although he's probably going to start talking about it. So there will be some talks, right? So there's going to be some communication there. I don't think it's going to be announced. But that's my opinion about that. I think the market could move to the downside anyway, right? Doesn't really matter at this point. But yeah, that is my opinion on that. Let's check Tilray. How's Tilray doing? 5.9 billion market cap, heading down like most stocks are heading down right now. Down 2.8%. Although the day started off so incredibly good. Very, very good start, and then everything started coming down. I mean, is there a day that we don't see the Russell go down? Just recently we had a big push, but we're seeing lower highs. And hopefully we're going to see a higher low. So the idea is, what we want to see, ideally, is a higher low and then a push to the upside. That would be incredibly bullish, but we haven't really seen that yet. It's just been the same high. Although we have seen higher lows, but it was rejected right here. We had a swift 6% downturn. That's crazy, man. And then it came back up. The same rate. Let's see what's happening in the chat. Every time Powell speaks, stocks go down. Well, usually what happens is stocks go down, but right after it happened, stocks go back up. So that's been the pattern. Okay. Look at that downturn on AMC. And people told me to not short it. Sitting at 41. Could have made a big gain. I already got out of the short right here in this zone. Yeah, AMC is still heading down. GameStop is still green. Up 3.2%. That's cool. XPeng is now red. That's strange. Although it's not that red. Alibaba still negative. DIDI pulled back almost completely. We saw all of the gains that we saw today just evaporate. Straight up. Alright, we are in Power Hour. Yes, that is true. Power Hour indeed. Let me just remove that poll. There we go. All right. Hold on one sec. Oh, yeah, we were going to cover the stock ATSC, I believe. Alliance Trust. Was it Alliance Trust? ASCS. Sorry. ASCS. Spacemobile. It is up 18%. Damn, that's insane. It's on a bearish day. ASC Spacemobile engages in the building of global broadband cellular network in space to operate directly with standard unmodified mobile devices. Okay, that's interesting. Right, so they're just, the whole purpose of this company is to fix the fact that there's so many people unconnected to the internet, disconnected to the internet. Let me check it out. AST Spacemobile. It's very difficult to value this. Yeah, I think it's looking good on the technicals, right? So it's clearly spiking. We're seeing that happen right now. But they don't have revenue. They're burning cash. Well, they have tiny bits of revenue. I like the whole idea of it, right? So the fact that what they're trying to do, their mission. SpaceX is already doing that, I think. I think it's just way too risky at this point. It seems like it's going to go back to around 12.4, 12 point, right here. Potentially pull back right after. Maybe use the 10.7 as support and then rise even further. Although, it's risky. Anything that has no revenue right now is incredibly risky because of a potential tapering announcement. But yeah, they do have... What do they have? They have... Apparently they had a catalyst, because it's up 16% today. Yeah, I have no idea why it's going up. I can't find anything or any articles relating to this big bounce. But I think it could definitely go up further. At least the technicals would allow that. We're also not seeing incredibly high volume or anything like that. So that's also interesting to look out for. Generally, what tends to happen is it goes to around $12, pulls back, and if it hits that support, I could definitely see it spike back up. Middle of September, back to around 13, 14. Oh, there we go. Tesla's bleeding out. Remember what I said. Huge probability of a move to the downside, and that is happening right now. There you go, down 1.6%. Yeah, so this is an opportunity to be able to buy the dip, so to speak. Should be doable. C3 down 0.5%. Palantir is also coming back down. Snowflake, same story. AMC going back to 40. Ugh. We have the 10-year heading down. Guess what? People are getting into the bond market. People are scared. The Russell's continuing to go down. Down 1.2% right now. Might go down another percent, potentially. NASDAQ also heading down. Down 0.6%. S&P heading down 0.5%. Dow Jones 0.5%. And yeah, looking pretty bearish right now. Looking pretty darn bearish. Virgin Galactic is canceling out. Hit 27. Now sitting at 25.2. Robinhood down 2.4%. We're seeing the overall market just correct right now. Personally, I have a lot of cash on the sidelines. I don't want to buy anything right now. I just want to stay at the sidelines, see what happens tomorrow, right? We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. I personally have a lot of stock. I am long on many stocks that I have in this watch list. But yeah, I think, still, AI is looking very attractive at 49.4. I like Nano Dimension right now. DIDI at 8.3, Alibaba at 165, even Tesla, right? So Tesla's looking a lot better now. At least you're getting a discount of roughly 2.7% from that top recently. So it could definitely come back a bit lower. So I think it's going to come back to around 680, 690 before we see any kind of bounce to the upside. Yeah, personally, I'm holding cash. I'm waiting. I want to see what happens tomorrow. I thought the 10-year going down was good for growth stocks. Well, it's good. It's good if the 10-year slowly heads down. But if the 10-year spikes down, that's bad. So it depends, right? It really does depend on the situation. Why is the 10-year going down? Is the 10-year gradually, slowly heading down? Then it's a good thing. Is it spiking down because investors are scared? Well, that's a bad thing, and you'll see the stock market come down as well. So there are several scenarios. And right now, the 10-year spiking down because investors are scared. Look at that. It's a big spike to the downside after those moves to the upside. I'll show you what I mean. Let's see if I can see if the 10-year slowly heads down. This is a spike, right? So you see this big spike on the 10-year? We saw stocks go down substantially, especially on this one. You can see right now that this was a spike that happened during when we first realized what COVID was and that we're going to be in a pandemic. So it spiked downwards because investors, hedge funds, institutions, they were cautious. They wanted to place their money somewhere safe, and so they bought treasury bonds. And when a lot of people are buying these, the 10-year, right, the 10-year bond, the 10-year yield goes down. But if you have a slow movement to the downside, like what we saw right here, you see this movement? Very slow movement to the downside. Growth stocks went up. And same thing happened here. And so we want a stable 10-year yield. We want it to be stable. We want it to be flat, essentially. You don't want to be seeing spikes to the upside. And what would be lovely is if the 10-year could slowly head downwards. Although keep in mind, when the 10-year goes down substantially, it gets priced in later on into the stock market. It doesn't happen overnight, but yeah, that's what I'm trying to say here. All right, so what is happening here? We have Tesla sitting at 698.3. $698. Tesla's coming down big time right now. It is coming down big time. I'm really thinking about maybe buying a little bit of stock. But this is not convincing enough. Not convincing enough, indeed. 12 U.S. Marines. Oof. Wow, that's a really messy situation down there on in Kabul. Incredibly messy. Wait, I'm gonna be checking the news. Hold up. I've got a TV right here. See if I can do that.
Win the peace and control that much territory, because, like you've mentioned, it's so many desperate groups, it's so many different ethnicities, it's so many different loyalties.
I'm gonna have the screen right here. I've got the Bloomberg TV right here. You can't see it, but I'm following all the news. Let's just put it that way. Oh boy. There we go. Maybe I can show you. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. See if I can quickly show you what I mean. So yeah, I got the TV right here. And I'm closely watching what's happening. I got that TV very recently. I thought it would be quite useful, especially for the streams, having a big screen to just watch all the data on. And I use it from time to time, but I think especially right now it's incredibly useful. Let's see. Continuing to bring people into the airfield. Interesting. That air conditioner is working so good. Yeah, so I think right now is not necessarily a good time to be buying the dip right now. Let's see, Dow Jones. It's just, I think it's a good time to be watching the market and just seeing what happens. U.S. will not go to war. Tell a bunch of good things to the. I mean, it's a lot happening there. There's a lot happening there. It could definitely cause chaos, just also in the equity markets. Pentagon says have forces needed for security. Huh. Are you demonetized for swear words in the chat? No, but I would prefer it if people could not or would not swear. Swear words will be filtered out in the chat automatically, and the moderators will do their best as well. Obviously, obviously. Yeah, so we're seeing more downside in some of these stocks. Yeah, so recovery stocks are taking a beating. Nvidia, yes, finally going down. Yeah, I'm short on this stock. AMD also heading down. Yeah, I just can't believe it, right? It's unbelievable. Remember, I said in the first live stream today that DIDI was going to come back down from that top all the way where it was. And guess what happened? It's coming back all the way down. And I still think it's an attractive buying opportunity, despite what's happening here. Do you want a strict no swearing policy or can someone swear once in a while? It doesn't have to be too strict. Strict enough. I'll let you know if it's too strict. I'll let you know. I think people will let us know. People will let us know when it's too strict. For sure. Wow, Palantir is just... let me delete this. Palantir came back up all the way. Hit resistance again. Pulling back down again. I am so incredibly bullish on Palantir. It's my biggest position, so that makes sense. I think my second biggest position is C3.ai. And then my third biggest position is, I think, DIDI. Fourth one would be either Alibaba or Tesla. I think at this point it's Alibaba, yeah. I sold some Tesla. I was not convinced that Tesla was going to be moving up on the short term. So, yeah. Hold up, I'm just going to quickly turn on the live chat screen. There we go. Fantastic. Bank of America's down, Apple down, AMD, Ford going down 2.4%. VIX is spiking. Look at that. Oh my god, look at Cardano. Oof. Big oof. Big oof. That looks pretty bad. That looks really bad. Looks like Cardano's gonna crash. Or is crashing right now. I mean, it's already down 16%. Yeah, weekly chart. Will it crash, or are we going to see consolidation? That $1 mark is a substantial support. If the U.S. goes to war, is that good or bad for us? It's going to be very bad if the U.S. goes to war. Incredibly bad. That is adding uncertainty on top of uncertainty. It's not good. I am going to say Cardano is probably going to come back down a lot. This is just the beginning of it. This is a good support, and that is a good support. And this, would that be a 1.9? I think we're probably going to see it come back quite a bit. I think somewhere between around the $2 mark. I don't think it's going to hold up around 2.4, 2.5. We warned about Bitcoin already, right? I said it several times, like, hey, if it's going to hit 51K, that's a big resistance. It's going to pull back all the way to the trend line. And we have had that happen here. It's not even holding the trend line. It's actually going below it now. You see that? That's I would say that's bearish. We're probably going to retrace back to 43K. Maybe in one go. Nah, maybe go back to 47 first and then retrace back to the 43K. So far, so good. Gara's always warning about cryptos. Am I? I mean, you can check the video that we uploaded prior to Bitcoin crashing. It's on the channel. There's literally evidence that we were right about Bitcoin. In fact, I could show you right now. Hold up, I'll grab it right now. Hold up. Trading Bitcoin. I think it was this one. Was it this one? Oh, yeah, there we go. Fantastic. Beautiful.
Why should you invest?
I think I made this video on the 24th of April. So this is to the people that said I was wrong on crypto. Hold up. This is it. Let me just play this ad. It's not copyright infringement because it's my own video. Right. So what were we looking at? Okay, so Bitcoin was at the time sitting at 50K, but I was saying Bitcoin was going to come down on the live streams.
Remember, something happened in China, caused the Bitcoin price to go down substantially. It even hit 51.5 thousand. Now, you guys might know that I've been kind of bearish on Bitcoin on the short term. I've said several times before that it could be correcting similarly to what we have seen in 2019 and 2017, where Bitcoin tops out and then gets into the bearish market. Now, I want to kind of discuss that right here. I want to show you what I'm thinking and what my thought process is, and just kind of lay out the path for Bitcoin here. But before we do, guys, please make sure you tap the like button, subscribe to the channel. I would appreciate that a lot. Keep in mind, guys, I am not a financial advisor. Do please remember this. Making these videos for educational purposes. Now, okay, so let's take a look at the short-term chart right here for Bitcoin. We can clearly see it is definitely heading down, lower bottoms, like there, lower bottoms. And it's going lower and lower, and it's not stopping. And every single time we have a lower bottom, it moves sideways. So there's not enough momentum. Bitcoin is looking a little bit messy. Not necessarily long-term, I think on the short-term. Bitcoin bear necessarily long term. I think on the short term, Bitcoin for quite some time. In August, when interesting. Take a look right here. I want to just show you guys what's happening on the MACD. Okay, so this is the Bitcoin MACD. Generally speaking, what happens when the MACD crosses the orange line, right? The blue line crosses the orange line. We get into this bearish zone. A bearish market momentum has finally gone negative. Now, the last time this happened, like properly happened, where we topped out and we went bearish, this was 2019. Now, I want to take a look at 2019 in August, what happened right there, just to clearly, just to see what happened, right? So it topped out at 13 to 14,000. Then it came down, right? It came down all the way to 7,000. So we saw that Bitcoin halved. It went from 14K to 7K, and even worse after that in 2020, in that crash that we saw, it went to 5,000, 4,000. And then the other time that we saw the MACD, the weekly MACD, cross that way, we can see that right here. And this looks a lot more similar to what we are seeing right now. This was 2017, 18. I would say the end of 2017, beginning of 2018, where Bitcoin properly tops out right here and crossed to the downside. We saw significant bearishness after that for quite some time. I would say for a couple years, right? So if we zoom out right here, we can clearly see what happened to Bitcoin. We topped out. We saw Bitcoin top out roughly at 20K, 19K. Then it fell all the way back to 6,000. it more than halved. It went down like 60-70%. It proceeded to go lower throughout the years. It hit 3,000 at some point. So do I think that Bitcoin is going to go down as much? I don't think so. I don't think Bitcoin is going to go down 70%, 80%, or something like that. However, I do think that Bitcoin, if we take a look at the MACD right now, is crossing the MACD already. So it is already kind of signifying to us like we're about to see a major correction. Of course, I don't think it's going to go down 80%. I don't think that's realistic. Bitcoin is a lot more established now. There are a lot more institutional investors and traders in the asset class. So for that reason, I don't think Bitcoin is going to go down as much as we've seen in 2017 or in 2019. However, this does mean we are in correction mode. This is the start of a bear market for Bitcoin, and I think it's going to get a little bit worse before it gets better. Of course, we have seen the halving event happen in 2020. I think it was in May. Generally speaking, a year and a half after that event, we see Bitcoin surge, and we've seen this surge happen. The same thing happened in 2016, I believe. We had a halving event. The supply of Bitcoin was constrained. This happens every 4 years. We have a massive surge. It tops out, comes down, cools off until the next halving event or until the next big event happens. The next halving event is going to be 2024. I don't necessarily believe Bitcoin is going to do nothing until then. Of course, we're going to see bull rallies. However, right now, we're sort of topping out right here. We're seeing the weekly is going down. The RSI is heading down. We've seen the monthly chart. We've topped out on the RSI. We are topping out on the MACD. I think we're entering in the bear market here. And that could mean that Bitcoin for the next months might correct back to roughly 38,000, 40,000. And at the worst part, it might even correct back to 30K. So that's going to be my prediction right here for Bitcoin to gradually come back to the zone and then potentially bounce back afterwards. However, keep in mind on the short term, like I'm saying.
What did I say? We could see it go down to 38,000, maybe even 30,000, probably 30,000. Then bounce back. Remember what I said, bounce back to 50K and then come back down again.
There is going to be a dead cat bounce. That could be a nice moment to exit this asset class. Of course, I am bullish on this long term. It's just the short term right now is looking horrible. Just looking at the weekly and the monthly chart.
Remember, it came back to 30K. It went to 29K after this. Literally after that moment. In fact, I warned some of my friends. I was like, hey, Bitcoin's about to come down. And I managed to convince those people that, hey, might as well take some profits. So yeah, it happens. This is, let me see if there's anything to watch
right now. So keep in mind, I think it's just going to probably fall back to roughly that 40 to 30,000 zone.
Once again, this is right before the big crash. It's 24th of April.
And that would be a great entry for Bitcoin. I will personally pour in some money if it's going to get into that range.
It got to that range, and I put some money into Bitcoin at 30,000, by the way.
But for now, I'm going to stay away from this. I could be wrong about this. Keep in mind, I could definitely be wrong about this, but I've seen this pattern, guys. I've seen this pattern play out so many times before. I've been looking at this for 2 weeks now. I've been warning people out there right when it was sitting at 65K that this was going to happen, and it actually happened. I'm just warning you guys, this could get a little bit worse on the short term. We could see Bitcoin correct back to maybe 30, 40K. At the worst, maybe even in the 20,000s. But I think long term, Bitcoin should be fine. It's more established. There are more and more institutions in Bitcoin. We've got PayPal, Square using Bitcoin now as well. Even Tesla allowing you to buy Tesla vehicles with Bitcoin. So yeah, I think long-term Bitcoin is here to stay. Short term, I think we're going to get some nice buying opportunities in the $30,000 to $40,000 price range. So keep in mind, guys, I'm not a bear on this. I do think it's bullish on the long term, but on the short term, we're going to see a tiny correction. So what's going to happen on the short term? I think on the
Oops, sorry, I was muted. That's enough. Got 25 dislikes on that video, interestingly enough. Recently had a video where we talked about C3.ai going up. It was sitting at 46, now sitting at closer to 50. Look at the comments, right? Hold up. So the bull run can be over. Does it mean Bitcoin will take down Ethereum and other coins down with it? I think I answered this, didn't I? Probably did. You sound better muted. Come on, man. I said yes, unfortunately, Ethereum and the rest would come down as well. And that is exactly what happens. Okay, so there we go. You're funny. Another Bitcoin bear. I had a lot of hate comments, also privately, that was sent to me. Let me just go back up. Actually, let's go back to the chart. Let's see if we can go back to the chart. There we go. Fantastic. So to anybody that says, Gara, you're wrong about crypto, just watch that video. I've said it several times. Watch that video. This is exactly what we said. Bitcoin was going to crash to 30K. We would see a dead cat bounce to 50K, and it would come back down. And that's happening. Exactly that is happening right now. And it's just so surprising that people didn't watch that video. Although, then again, I'm not the largest, biggest YouTuber out there, so. Hold on, what's happening in the chat? Let's see. Yeah, please tell me why you don't short crypto if you know it's going to crash. Because shorting crypto is stupid. Why would you short crypto? That's just not a smart idea. I am a long-term bull on crypto. That's why I wouldn't short it. Anything that I'm bullish on long-term, I would never in my life want to short. But if I'm bearish on something long-term, then I would definitely short the stock or short the asset. Right, let's see. Yeah, once again, I don't have a crystal ball. I was looking at the technicals, I was looking at the fundamentals and the macros and the history, and I was trying to formulate the most rational possible, probable situation for crypto. And that's what I just communicated to people, and it happened. It actually happened, which is pretty awesome. Alright, let's see. Market is not quite resuming back upwards yet. We're seeing Robinhood still down 3%. Virgin Galactic down 3%. DIDI came all the way back down. Baba not recovering either. And we have Palantir still up 2.4%. Usually, Palantir is the kind of stock that does incredibly well when there's like lots of havoc, lots of chaos in the... Just anywhere. Yeah, so I'm not buying the dip right now, like I said before. I am refraining from buying the dip. I got plenty of stocks. I want to have some cash on the sidelines. I want to see what happens tomorrow. Keep in mind, the Fed could taper. They could announce a taper, and everything comes back down. And September tends to be a very bearish month for the S&P and for the Nasdaq. For the Dow Jones, it's relatively mild, but yeah, just being cautious at the moment. Not buying any of the dips. Could be wrong, but still, I think there's a good chance. There's a good probability that what we're going to see here is a downturn. And we'll be able to buy many, many dips down the road. Alright, let's see. Nano dimension. Yeah, it does look like stocks are preparing for a downturn, which is interesting. That's on the 4 hours. Most stocks are looking kind of bearish at the moment. There was a big blast in Kabul just now. Oh my god. Is this situation worsening? No way. Let me check the news. Yeah, top news. Let me just cover the news on the TV at the moment. Is there another blast? No way. No, I don't. I can't find anything on that. Let's see, Afghanistan news. Is there any live stream at the moment? I'm trying to find the right channel. No. Can't find any live streams. I'm gonna see if there's anything on the news. Kabul airport, and okay, we already knew that. Just felt the shockwave of a very large explosion in Kabul. The whole house shook. That's 4 minutes ago. Oh my gosh. That is not good. Oh no. Oh boy, interesting times. Yeah, stocks are going down. No wonder stocks are going down. Tomorrow we have the Jackson Hole meeting where a potential taper might be announced. And we also have, what is happening in Afghanistan. Looking pretty bad right now. Overall, looking pretty bad. Stocks were sitting at all-time highs. So for stocks to be pulling back, I think it makes sense. When you have this kind of negative news, of course you're going to see a pullback, and we're seeing a pullback. Although it's not that severe yet. It looks pretty mild so far. Yeah, so I thought it would probably reach this level first and then pull back, but then we had the negative news and it pulled back instantly. I want to see how Lockheed Martin is doing. It's actually down. It's like, damn. It's down a lot. 10%. Lockheed, is it going up? Yep, it is going up. Yeah, we could maybe see a bit of a move to the upside. Look at that revenue. Holy moly. Let's check Raytheon. Gara, Joe Biden will address the nation at 5 p.m. Eastern Time on Afghanistan. Oh, that's really cool. I think that's going to be very much needed. Let's check Raytheon. Raytheon, that's a lot of revenue. Good chunk of profits. Are we ready to see both Raytheon and Lockheed Martin go up? I wouldn't say that necessarily. Maybe the monthly. No. Not seeing anything specific. But you know, obviously, if there's something going on, war-related, then we're going to see big spikes. 100%. But yeah, for now, I would say seeing a little bit of downside just across the board. It's nothing severe, although we're seeing AMC go down 8%. That is happening. It's like this slow bleed right now, still. Alright, we have 17 minutes left until the market is going to close. And, yeah. Donation coming in. We got a $5 donation from Patrick Lamb. And Patrick says, are we getting a full pullback now in the stock market? Are we getting a full pullback? It seems like it. It does seem like it, yeah. We got all the ingredients full pullback. It's like, if it quacks like a duck, if it walks like a duck, it's probably going to be a duck. I think it might happen in September. So rolling into September, we might see a pullback. Depending on the result tomorrow. Because if Jerome Powell is going to say something like, oh, we're not going to taper, or it's too early to taper, or we're not thinking about tapering, the stock market is going to come back up a lot. Guaranteed. Alright, let's say we get like a pullback scenario. Let's say we get a pullback scenario for the S&P. Right? Pullback scenario. Still getting used to this mouse. Alright. So, oh my god, it's sitting so incredibly high. Oops. Yeah, this looks very trippy, I know. Let's say this is... It might be the pullback, who knows. Let's say it pulls back. We fall all the way to around 4,420. Maybe you see a bit of a bounce. Next level would be 4,400. Break that level instantly. Then go back down to around 4,330. 4,320. And that would probably hold, I would say. That could definitely hold if we were to see a pullback into September. It would probably look a lot more like this. Hold up. Let's see. Something like this. And then we'll see a bigger move to the upside and then return all the way down to this level. There we go. Fantastic. This seems to be greater support area. I don't know if this is going to hold right here. I think that is definitely going to be where it would hold temporarily. So that would be a downturn of roughly 6%. And if it were to go down all the way here, we're talking 7%. That's into the month of September. And obviously this is, you can see the date down below. I can't really draw for that. That date would make sense. But I would say that's going to happen probably around the middle of September if we were to see a pullback at all. This is a strong support range. I don't think it will easily leave this support range. At the lowest, it might come back to 4,000, but I don't think this is going to be drastic. But yeah, that's like maybe a potential scenario right now. Who knows? We don't know if this is the case. It might be the case. I think it's plausible. We'll see. We got all the ingredients, right? We have something happening in Afghanistan. The Federal Reserve wants to potentially taper. Stocks were sitting at all-time highs. We recently had earnings. So yeah, I mean, a pullback could make sense here. Yeah, this is looking pretty bad. What is happening in Afghanistan right now? Let me check the news again. Afghanistan. Yeah, they messed up big time. What time is tomorrow's speech? I think it was 2 p.m., right? 2 p.m. Eastern Time. It usually is 2 p.m. So that would make sense. I'm just going to quickly check the news here. Oh, let's see what we don't want to check. Oh, yeah, there we go. Yeah, okay, so there's also the possibility of a massive crash, right? So how would the stock market crash look like, right? So I think we could see it retrace back to the 4,200s, bit of a bounce, possibly to maybe even as much as like 4,400. I don't think it would be a big bounce, but it could keep on bleeding downwards if this was to be a market crash. And I would say the next level of support would be sitting around 3,750. Okay, we can like confirm this with let's see, 3,600, 3,700, something like that. Which, if that were to happen, I mean, obviously, that would be a very swift crash, right? Is it comparable to the ones that we have seen in the past? Would it be? Yeah, it is. It is actually comparable. So it would make sense. Yeah. So if this would be an actual stock market crash because of tapering being announced and whatever's happening in Afghanistan, we could see a very swift slide to the downside, and this would act as support. And this zone would probably be held for a time, and it would just gradually, slowly come back down to around 3,000 or the lower 3,000s. And now we're talking about like a very massive crash, right? I am afraid. It is actually quite probable. But let's root for a smaller correction. I am afraid we're going to see something similar. I think it would be problematic. What's the put what's it called, the put call ratio? What's the put call ratio right now? How many people are shorting? Is nobody shorting right now? Oh my god. I'm becoming anxious. Nobody's shorting right now. Oh my god. Or, well, people are shorting, but it's just relative to oh boy. So the put call ratio is low when there's more calls than puts, right? Because you divide the puts by the calls. There's more puts if there's a lower amount of calls. I don't like this. I really don't like this. I think the indices are gonna pull back. I'm gonna take. I mean, I already have 35% of cash because I'm a little cautious right now. But I'm considering taking a little bit more, maybe. This is looking pretty darn bad. I don't think. Okay, I don't think it's going to be a crash, but I think a correction is coming. I just don't see how this is going to keep moving at this point. Let's check the long term. Let's just have the volume there. That looks bearish. MACD's not crossing. RSI bearish as well. Spiking downwards. You don't want to see that. Weekly chart. What the hell is this? It's just chilling right in the overbought zone. It's gonna come back. Weekly's indicating it's overbought. Oh, there we go. We have 2 minutes left and the market is going to close. Weekly is bearish. And it's sitting pretty darn high, the MACD, right? Because the market is sitting high. So what's happening on the monthly? Monthly, obviously overbought. Obviously. But still some room left. If you would compare this to 2018 or, the .com, where, there's still some room left down the road. So this could just be a correction. All right, so we're talking about a 5 to 10% correction probably happening in September. We have about 1 minute left. One minute left here. Very, very bearish. Market almost closing. And the market is now officially closed. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm actually very worried. I think the market is going to correct, like very near term, like near term. Maybe I can show you the put call ratio right now. It's not a good look. Is this it? I don't think so. Wasn't it the Cboe? And then one of these? Yeah, there we go. Which one did I look at? The Cboe equity put call ratio. Few full charts. Yeah, I was looking on Y charts. They got the more accurate charts there. It's sitting at 0.39 though. Good call. Is this it? Nope, not it. I'm trying to get the right one. Darn it. Anyway, the whole message I'm trying to get across is there's low amount of shorting, low amount of puts versus really high amount of calls, and it's been like this for a while. Consumer confidence is declining. The Fed is potentially going to talk about tapering tomorrow. The stock market is pretty much still sitting at all-time highs. S&P NASDAQ, Dow Jones, etc. We just had earnings, right? Earnings already priced in. We've got some time left until next earnings. And yeah, we have the thing, whatever's happening in Afghanistan is having an influence on the market as well. There might be early tapering. September is a bearish month, generally speaking, for the market. And October as well. So, yeah, I think the market is going to pull back. I think it will probably be around 5 to 10%. So, I hope you're ready for some spicy deals in the stock market. It's going to be pretty good. Now, how am I preparing myself for this? Cash. Lots of cash. So I got 35% of my positions in cash. Been preparing for this for a couple weeks now. And hedging, right? So I'm shorting some companies that I think are going to go down if the market goes down. I think probably stocks like Nvidia is going to pull back quite substantially because it's been going up like a rocket ship. Google as well. And let's see. I don't like Microsoft at this point as well, so probably Microsoft. So yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. I'll probably be hedging more. I'll be adding some short positions, some tiny short positions. Nothing massive, just tiny short positions, just to be hedging. So yeah, that's the current situation. There is a tiny probability that Jerome Powell's going to come out and say, we're not going to be tapering. We're going to keep buying assets. I don't think that's going to happen. There's a tiny chance he's going to say that they're going to be tapering earlier. I think probably nothing is going to happen, right? It's just some talk, but that's it. Which could still be enough for the market to be heading down. So, yeah, that's my opinion on the current situation. And regarding Afghanistan, I think that is horrible. I think it's messed up. Hopefully, the situation is going to be improving over time. And let me just quickly check what the news is right now. Oh, boy. Yeah. All right, that's it's a terrible situation, but all right, I will be wrapping up the live stream now. I hope this live stream was helpful at all and informative, and be careful if you're holding cryptos. Just saying. Smash the like button. Subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, check out the social medias. We have an Instagram, Twitter. There's a Discord community that you can be a part of. Links are going to be down below in the description. Check it out. This was Lucid Trading. Have a great day. Have an awesome day. Good luck with trading. And we'll be back tomorrow before the market is going to be opening up. And we're also going to be streaming at 2 p.m. Eastern Time the Jackson Hole meeting where Jerome Powell is going to be speaking. So make sure you're there. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day. Lucid Trading out. See you soon.